Grand evening, everyone. It is Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. It is 20 hours and 45 minutes in the evening, Central Daylight Time. And we have another emergency broadcast here. Initially, a live stream recording that is posted to my YouTube channel. Stand by, I'm using a new streaming format. Okay. One moment. Alright, so we'll start here. We will start here. Have to put this to the side. Can't. Right here. This is from the Health Ranger. And anyway, the main thing here today is much of what the title says before we get into that. Um, this is another World War III update, and it has reached the most serious it has this entire war so far. We are in the fourth week of the total kinetic phase of World War III. So, the most concerning news is the President of the United States gave Iran 48 hours to open the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has said no, they are not going to do that, and they're even going to retaliate in a way they haven't yet. As large, one of the largest ways they ever have, they will soon retaliate uh, within that time or any moment they can. So we'll talk about that further in a moment. We have this here from the Health Ranger, this post here on my X profile. I reposted it. We have potential energy lockdowns coming. So we have all these recommendations that are coming up, these recommended measures from the International Energy Agency. There's 10 recommended measures. They're going to be putting these and more into place soon. It's very likely in time they'll put them more into place. The first one, and some people may have seen this, is working from home, they say. Remote work could cut oil use from commuting by up to 6% nationally. The second one is reduce highway speed limits, lowering limits by at least 10 kilometers per hour, reduces fuel consumption for cars and trucks. The third is shift to public transport, increase use of buses, trains, and metros to replace private car trips. Increase carpooling, sharing rides to reduce the number of vehicles on the road. The fifth is to adopt more efficient driving practices, smoother acceleration and braking, save fuel, to save fuel. The sixth is car-free Sundays or alternating license plate restrictions, rotation schemes to limit overall vehicle use. So car-free Sundays, that's the most insane one there. They want to have no cars on the road on Sundays, and they'll likely do both, those alternating, have some kind of license plate restrictions. And then the seventh is improve fleet efficiency. Businesses and governments to fast track more fuel efficient vehicle deployment. So that's more fuel efficient vehicles. They want to have more fuel efficient vehicles for businesses and governments. The eighth is avoid non essential air travel. A reduction of around 40% of flights taken for work purposes is feasible in the short term while maintaining productivity. The ninth is switch to electric or modern cooking solutions. Encouraging electric cooking and other modern options can reduce reliance on LPG. I think they meant to say LNG. Um, Maybe it's liquid petroleum gas. That's like maybe that's what LPG means. And then we have the 10th, leverage flexibility in petrochemical feedstocks. Industry can help free up LPG for essential uses while reducing oil consumption through quick operational improvements. In countries where LPG supplies are under pressure, facilities may be able to switch from LPG to alternative feedstocks such as naphtha. Then we have one second. Then we have this here. So that's interesting. I just got distracted for a moment. So yeah, they are planning something, some kind of energy restrictions and lockdowns. That is very imminent now. Trying to figure out something here. It's a whole new, I'm using a different streaming platform now. Um, I'll have to figure that out sometime. Oh, I think I see it. Yeah. Okay. Then we have this here. The Iron Dome in Israel is failing. This is from another post from whale.guru here on X. Iran recently hit Israel's nuclear facility at Dimona. The Iron Dome failed. Over 20 people were wounded. This is the most dangerous moment of this entire war. An Iranian medium-range ballistic missile struck the Dimona Nuclear Research Center in the Negev Desert. So there's a lot of recordings of what happened there. Over 20 people were wounded at that nuclear facility. The Iron Dome failed to intercept that missile. Once again, it was an Iranian medium-range ballistic missile. This is wave 70. Iran has fired 70 times in 21 days. Over 55 targets were hit in wave 70 alone. This is the first successful strike on Dimona since 1948. So some context on Dimona. It's a nuclear facility. And Dimona is the Shimon Peres Negev Nuclear Research Center. This is where Israel makes its nuclear weapons. No one ever since 1948 has hit this nuclear facility. Iran just hit it on wave 70 while still firing more. The CENTCOM commander that day on the 21st, I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, I think this was around yesterday, just before, right around yesterday. The CENTCOM commander claimed they destroyed 8,000 Iranian targets. Their navy is apparently not sailing. Iran, yep, they hit a nuclear site. They hit a nuclear research center where they create their nuclear weapons. So let's see here. This is about the most accurate part of this post. They are forcing Israel to make a choice. Do you use your nukes, or do we keep bombing your nuclear facility until the world sees you won't? Either Israel escalates to the nuclear level, or Iran has just exposed the biggest bluff in modern military history. So this is accurate here. This is about whether nuclear deterrence even works. Yes, prepare accordingly. We have quite a few videos and recordings of what happened there at Dimona and nearby. See it absolutely destroyed that area. Massive explosion in that area.
كب حادية هذه راح هذا.
The interceptor fails in the sky. The interceptors fail to intercept. Gets
والله طاح بس ليه الخبط والله يا طاح. والله يا طاح بس الخبر
طاح كان تفجر الدنيا. دور عليه ناس. هاي.
So you could see right around here. It's hard to catch it. There it is. There's the missile that hit the the nuclear facility. This might be some kind of interceptor. The interceptor did not reach it. It went down and hit its target. There, boom. When it hit the ground, you could see the sky even lit up. So, this medium range Iranian ballistic missile hit the Dimona Nuclear Research Center in the Negev Desert. That is where the Israelis create their nuclear weapons, and it was hit. So if Iran keeps doing that, Israel could respond in a nuclear way. Then we have this here. We have this right here. This is likely what the president will do. So I said, I've been seeing lots of very concerning reports of nuclear war being imminent. It's very likely this sub will nuke Iran. Firing maybe a few will take out their power grid, too. The EMP effect from them. That's the new goal there, to take out their power grid. This will likely be how, right here, as you can see. This is an armed nuclear sub that was just deployed to the Arabian Sea within striking distance of Iran. That right there is an armed nuclear sub. I believe that's an armed U.S. nuclear sub that was just deployed to the Arabian Sea. They could very likely use this nuclear sub to deploy nuclear weapons at high altitude and cause an EMP effect all across Iran. That is the most likely way it will be done when it comes to taking out Iran's power grid there. The president of the United States said that that in less than 24 hours now, though he said it at the time, in 48 hours, if Iran does not open the Strait of Hormuz, he will target, starting with their largest power plant and all of the rest, to take out and destroy Iran's entire power grid. Iran responded in a way saying that they will target desalination areas, other power grids of the other countries nearby, the other Gulf states by the Strait of Hormuz, for example. And I'm sure Israel in the most massive way since this since World War III has gone into its total kinetic phase. We are on the 29th day. Over there, it's the 30th day now of the total kinetic phase of World War III. So this has really escalated to a very severe, very concerning extent, this part of the war. Taking out Iran's power grid is absolutely massive. It will cause there to be no power, no electronic devices used if there's an EMP detonated there. Overall, there will be no power either way in Iran coming up. And that itself may result in millions leaving Iran and other parts of the Middle East as their power grids are hit. And then millions in Iran and around it could be unalive from the fact that there is no power grid being used. So advanced medical procedures and stuff being done in hospitals, modern medicine, it won't be done in a modern way that requires electricity. It's an interesting thing to think about. There's a lot of heavy reliance on electrical power when it comes to modern medicine and other modern uses. Society, even in Iran and around it, like Dubai, is a perfect example. They're heavily reliant on electric power. They have an advanced city there in Dubai, for example. It's one of the most advanced cities in the world out in a desert. Without power, it becomes a much more dangerous place. There's almost no water sources that I know of nearby there. It becomes almost entirely uninhabitable without electrical power flowing through there and the other parts of the Middle East. So that is very likely what will happen. One way or the other, Iran at least will be without an electrical power grid. Then we have this here on the home front. Near Huntington Beach, California. This is from OC Scanner, this post. There were tsunami sirens being used in Huntington Beach. So the tsunami sirens that are in Huntington Beach were going off. Almost no one knew in the area why they were going off at the time. There were no reports even of a test over there. So here is a video of that from that profile there, USA Incident Tracker. Someone recorded it over there. So you could hear the sirens going off in the distance there. I said that they'll use these sirens and other natural disaster sirens and similar sirens for air raid sirens and the like. Recently, I've shown in Georgia they were sounding sirens near a base over there, a military base, and that was not normal. They were doing it nonstop. So we have sirens going off and being tested all throughout the home front here. And they will likely use these sirens for air raid alerts. They do that in Ukraine, they do it in Israel. these sirens will be used for air raid alerts, missile attack warnings, things like that. That's what these sirens will be used for. Especially when Russia and Iran, not Russia and Iran, when Russia and China get more involved, and say North Korea, these sirens, all the sirens across the country, the home front here will be heard. That will be the air raid sirens, missile warnings to the public to go and seek shelter, go into places of safety, safe places, I believe they call them in Israel. That will happen here as well if it does not go immediately nuclear. Those countries will fire missiles here into the home front, all at different parts of the U.S. Then we have this here. This was pretty funny. It had to definitely bother the president in a very big way. Um, this is interesting what he said here.
Hey Taram, you are fired. You are familiar with this sentence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The central headquarters of خاتم الانبیا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. نظامیان دشمن، همانها که فرار را برقرار ترجیح می‌دهند، همان اربابان شکست‌های متوالی که مردم مسلمان ترسی را در حتی قبل باشد. Hey Taram, you are fired. You are familiar with this sentence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The central headquarters of خاتم الانبیا.
So that was the central headquarters of Khatam al-Anbiya in Iran, saying that to the President of the United States. So that is going to make the President even more angry, and that raises the likelihood of nuclear weapons being used by a significant amount, them coming out and taunting the President personally in Iran. So we have one of the highest nuclear risks. It's actually higher than ever before. Once again, in this live stream at this time, it is higher than ever before. Nuclear war is very likely imminent. He could deploy nuclear weapons from that nuclear submarine that I showed here that is in the Arabian Sea. It may be used to take out the power grid in Iran. It could also strike a lot of other places nearby, like parts of Russia and China. That nuclear sub right there. The U.S. nuclear subs are some of the most powerful in the world. They have classified specifications. Some of them, some parts of those nuclear subs, as to how deep they could go, for example, is classified. So they're heavily armed with nuclear weapons. They have all of these nuclear subs, they have nuclear weapons on them. It is very likely that there will be used on Iran. And that is how it escalates into a total, at least tactical nuclear war. The nuclear sub would fire nuclear weapons over Iran, detonate, cause EMP detonations, take out their entire electrical power grid, and then Russia and China will respond. And then Israel would have to use nuclear weapons more on Iran and Russia and China. And the U.S. would be doing the same. It's quite a very, it is a very concerning time. So prepare for potential nuclear war. That is where we are at now. It is best to be prepared for at least tactical nuclear war. I don't think it'll be mutually assured destruction where everything ends. It may remain at the tactical nuclear level if they use a nuclear weapon over Iran. It will go into immediate nuclear war soon after. There will not be much time after that before it goes into total nuclear war, with tactical nuclear weapons being used in the way that I mentioned by Russia, China. Let's not forget North Korea, the US, Israel, and other NATO countries like France. So prepare for that very likely doomsday scenario. World War III is at a very scary, very concerning time right now. Keep on preparing for World War III overall. That is a very important, I would say it's a required thing to do now to prepare in quite a few ways. As for the price of oil, we have Brent crude at over $100 per barrel. $112 per barrel for Brent crude. WTI, it's about $100 per barrel. We could expect the price of oil to easily reach $120 once again by the end of this week. I expect the price of oil to go up to $500 per barrel by the end of this year. Please like, comment, share to others you know who are into preparedness and who will actually take preparedness seriously. That is best. You may even donate if you want to in the link that's in the description of this initially live stream recording that is posted to my YouTube channel. I will be back soon with further, likely even the highest level emergency updates. This is one of the highest for sure. We have nuclear war that could happen within the next 24 hours. Prepare accordingly. Prepare the best you can, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Love, light, and blessings to you all. Once again, I will be back soon with further news and personal analysis, all of that, right here on this YouTube channel.